Act without expectation. From Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching. Expectation. Our true understanding of the world is further narrowed by filtering the information we do receive through learned patterns of perception. Perception is an awareness of the environment through physical sensation. Physical sensation that is interpreted in the light of experience. This experience creates certain precedents and expectations that change and filter our perception of the world. One way in which previous experience filters perception is known as inference. Inference is the ability of the brain to automatically sort sensation into recognizable patterns. Perceptual inference operates by inferring the most likely possibility that can account for the sensory information available. Perception involves choosing from a number of possible interpretations to the question, what is producing that sensory pattern? The choice is usually for the most familiar interpretation. For example, if you are walking through the woods at night after being warned of bear sightings and you perceive some shadowy form in the trees, your expectation will cause you to see a bear, whether or not there is anything really there. This phenomenon explains the unreliability of eyewitness accounts of strange and magical events and why they are so believable. Because the eyewitnesses actually did see what they claimed they saw, even if nothing really happened. A warrior needs to understand the tendency to interpret information through inference so that he can better perceive reality. An untrained man might see the shadow in the woods as a bear and immediately panic and run haphazardly through the dark. A warrior might perceive the shadow as a bear as well, but knowing how perception works, he would pause and bring his other senses into play, such as using his peripheral vision to see better in the dark, to quiet his breathing so he can hear if the shadow is making any noise, and take a few quick sniffs in the air to smell if there is a bear nearby. The second factor in filtering perception is known as perceptual set. Perceptual set is the readiness to perceive stimulus in a particular way. If you expect to sense a particular sensation, then the sensory information you receive is more likely to be interpreted according to your expectation. Past experience also contributes to your expectation, creating a mindset that will change the sensory information you receive into the expected sensation. For example, say someone held a lit cigarette near your hand and then asked you to close your eyes. If that person were to use his finger to touch your hand in the area where you had last seen the cigarette, you would instinctively pull your hand away and for an instant perceive pain. Your perceptual set was geared to interpret any sensation near the lit cigarette as heat. Our senses are limited by what we are taught. That which we are not trained to perceive, we will not perceive, even though our senses may sense it. The information will fail to reach us. Our personality is unaware of it. For example, in music, when two notes are played a semitone apart, they will cause a third vibration known as a pulse tone. Most people are not aware of this sound, and therefore do not hear it. Once it is explained, and the person knows what to listen for, the sound is easily heard. Often, in order to learn a new skill or a new way of viewing something, we must first reduce the expectations that will filter everything according to old ways of processing information. To reduce inference and change our perceptual sets, one must be open and observant, but without thought of success or failure, reward or punishment, good or bad. These expectations will interfere with the ability to learn.